Muzen, Mayan god of bees. I'll be breaking down his ability kit to its entirety, all the bits, tricks, and things that make him tick. Muzen is a part of the Hunter class in Smite, so he deals physical damage, and being a part of that class, giving him passive, increased auto attack damage scaling, maxing out at 10% auto scaling at 20th level.
Where I go, the swarm follows.
So with that, I think we'll jump right into his passive. Muzen's passive is called Bees. As he hits enemies with some of his abilities, he applies bees that apply tick damage every half second to enemies for 2 seconds. Enemies are revealed to you on the map, auto-attacking an enemy while they have bees on them extends the duration by 1 second, and it also spreads to nearby players that aren't already affected by bees. This damage does 9 base damage plus 6% of your physical power.
And who hides?
Now on to Muzen's first ability, which is called Hive. He places a destroyable object on the ground that can be destroyed by a single auto attack by any enemy god. The Hive buffs an area 60 unit long radius around the Hive. This buff provides health per 5 seconds, move speed, and attack speed. Muzen can place a max of 7 hives on the ground at once. Hives also reveal enemies within 20 units around them. These buffs max out at 40 HP 5, or 8 health per second, 30% movement speed, and 50% attack speed. The benefits of these hives sadly do not stack. As long as you are inside the radius of a single hive, you gain the benefits of the hive. These hives are best placed out of the way, so they aren't so easily destroyed, but if given the situation, they can be quite useful other than their buff in a fight, as they do take an auto attack to destroy, so you can use the hive to block a single auto attack if given the chance.
Fly, friends!
Muzen's second ability is called Swarm. He sends a ball of bees to travel in a straight line, dealing damage and applying his passive. The damage of this ability maxes out at doing 210 base damage plus 70% of your physical power. This ability is a nice poke ability that you're able to use as quick damage and then continue moving.
So sweet!
Muzen's third ability is called Honey. He sprays down honey for 3 seconds to follow his cursor that lasts on the ground for 4 seconds, damaging enemies every half second if bees are applied, and slowing all enemies stuck within the honey. If a hive is within range, or Muzen uses second ability Swarm, bees fly over the honey, applying his passive to enemies damaged by the honey. A single tick of his honey maxes out at doing 61 base damage plus 15% of your physical power and a slow of 20%. This ability is another great longer range small tick ability, as you're able to flick your camera to extend it farther than the range that it says on the tooltip says it can go.
Get stung!
Muzen's fourth and final ability is his ultimate. It is called Stinger. He fires a stinger in a short line, sticking to a god that is hit, and applying his passive to the god hit, slowing, crippling, and decreasing physical protections by 3 seconds. If the target dies, or after 3 seconds, the stinger falls off the enemy god and stays on the ground for Muzen to pick up. If he does so, he gets a large reduction to his ultimate cooldown. The damage maxes out at 595 base damage plus 90% of your physical power, a slow of 20%, a physical protection reduction of 10%, and when he picks up his stinger, it shortens his cooldown by 60% of its cooldown. Now, this is a very nice ability to engage any fight that you may go into, because you can pop your stinger and you will be able to do more damage and catch up to your enemy easier with the slow, and then you'll be able to do more damage with the physical protection reduction. So you want to use this before any of your other abilities, and then After those 3 seconds, or if your target dies, you pick it up, and it's only on cooldown then for 20 or so seconds.
You just couldn't resist the sweet smell of my honeycomb.
That was Muzen Cobb's entire kit. So now I'll get into some useful tips to help you excel at Muzen Cobb, as well as how you should be playing Muzen Cobb in general to maximize his usefulness.
Does that sting?
Muzen Cobb's strongest point is mid-game, which is when he has all of his abilities, as he is very reliant on his abilities to do damage, with an extremely weak early game, as he has trouble clearing with only one ability. And with some items, his abilities scale very nicely and do a lot of damage, but can struggle late game in team fights, as his hives can be broken very easily, removing a lot of his utility for himself. But to get into team fights, you need to know what to do in the early laning phase.
You get bees, and you get bees, everyone gets a bees!
Muzen Cobb is an ability-based hunter, so he relies on his abilities to do damage more than his auto attacks, which means he will build more into items that complement his abilities. As with that, he will be able to poke opponents and the wave from a long distance with his third ability, but in order to full clear, you'll need to start with your second ability, as that is the best damage alone. But by level 3, when you have all of your abilities, you can use your third ability, Honey, as that ability can easily full clear with only a few points put into it, and a hive to help you being able to out-clear and out-pressure your opponent around level 6 or 7. Before then, staying safe is more important, as you will likely get out-cleared yourself, but after, you can start to get a lead leading into late game and even team fights.
My victory shall be sweeter than honey.
Muzen Cobb, as stated before, isn't that good at team fighting, but how you can maneuver around a team fight is poking the enemy from afar and being with your team. The best ability in your arsenal comes team fights is your ultimate, as it'll make a target easily to kill from most of your teammates, allowing everyone on your team to focus down specific targets, finishing them off fast, and being able to retrieve your stinger back. Everyone on your team can back off whilst it comes back from a short cooldown, allowing you to do the same exact thing in the next 20 seconds, because Muzen Cobb's ultimate has potentially the shortest ultimate in the game.
Honey never spoils.
Quickly saying, don't auto-attack cancel on Muzen Cobb. But truthfully, to explain what an auto-attack cancel is, when auto-attacking, there are specific phases to an auto-attack. Muzen Cobb is a long action phase, where the projectile comes out from the character, and a short recovery phase to prepare for the next auto-attack. Auto-attack canceling is not beneficial to Muzen Cobb's kit, as you may accidentally void out an auto-attack that might have still been in its long action phase before the projectile even comes out. So it is better to simply cast all of your abilities and then auto-attacking your enemy to try to finish them off.
I could always use more stinging power.
So, to look at what a full rotation of what your abilities can look like without any hives down is 1, 3, 2. Otherwise, if you have your hive already down, you'll just 3, 2. If you have your ultimate available, a full ability rotation might rather look like 1, 4, 3, 2.
Need to readjust my stinger.
Muzen Cobb is a strong ability-based god, with a lot to learn and understand. If you want to lead the swarm, and choose to learn Muzen Cobb, pray for enemies to not destroy your hives. I wish you luck on the B-field. I mean battlefield. So you may take your rightful place among the gods, and become the best god you can be.